I would love to win tomorrow. Make no mistakes.
Yeah.
I would love to win tomorrow. But there was a win last night.
There was a win.
That
all
was,
right.
that
wasn't just a win.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to explain to people earlier. It wasn't just a win. It was a stamp on a so-called rivalry.
Oh no, it's ridiculous.
A so-called rivalry.
So-called rivalry.
In air quotes.
I love how Shammond comes in here like he picked Carolina to do this from like.
No. It has nothing to do about what I picked. It don't matter about what I picked. What it is that anything that you do, you want to exceed expectation. And so, a lot of times it takes time for things to come to fruition. I mean,
I can't take you seriously right now because look at him.
Yeah,
Shammond's face looks so much better than I did.
Bets.
You look so much better.
Y'all should have called me before y'all made them bets. Y'all got kids. Kids gonna see this. The kids gonna see this.
Looks like.
Oh Lord!
What am I doing here today?
Oh my goodness!
This is so bad.
You had no idea you signed up for this.
Oh my God!
When you agreed to do this,
I'm about to get fired on my day off. I'm supposed to be off. It's bad enough. This guy is so out of control today, Jeff. He had me defending Duke.
Oh no!
He had me defending Duke.
No, I didn't. He chose to do that. That was a choice. That's a grown man right there. He could have said nothing. He just chose.
He got up here today and had me defending Duke. I need a drink. Somebody go get it. I got to hear this again.
You need shots.
He said the rivalry now was over. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Who would dare? I told him, find a Duke fan and get them to say anything about Carolina Duke. Find it.
They can't right now.
Not today, but tomorrow.
They got to be in a hole somewhere.
Tomorrow.
Right? They're not going to come out of that hole till next year.
You think next year they're going to come out?
No, probably not. Probably not.
I told you, what could you say?
No, this is like the worst thing ever.
That is.
If you're a Duke fan. Seriously. The worst thing ever.
Somebody understand what I'm
saying.
No,
you're right. You're right. You
can't say what you want.
No. I don't defend that. I'm only stating.
What are you stating?
Oh my God, I'm defending Duke. This is crazy.
No, you're not. You're making a choice. Kids, this is a choice.
He's saying the rivalry is over. Like next year, it doesn't start up again with Shire. This rivalry isn't going anywhere, no matter who the coach is.
Shire could sweep them. Does it matter?
No,
I beat your daddy. It doesn't matter. I agree. I agree. No matter what. I'm telling you, Duke could beat their ass by 20 each game next year. And you know what? You know what Carolina fans are going to say? We ended K's career. We ended his damn career.
I ain't say that.
His career.
I didn't say that. He
What
said
do they
that.
say?
He said that.
Tell them what they say.
What do they say? Sit down, fans.
We
Duke fan says anything to you. What do you say back?
We beat your daddy. Beat your daddy.
I'm with you here. Listen, I'm right with you.
And I got
the
utmost respect. I got the utmost respect for K. K, that's my guy. I understand that, but we're talking about the competition here. This is the competition.
I just want you to know
And you
that I want a piece of this. When you guys win it all, if you win it all, I want. Hubert gave me my props.
You know what's the bad part about this? You know the bad part about this, which I hope that Hubert goes on to win this. If he wins this, that's not what they're gonna talk about. They ain't talking about him winning on that championship. They're gonna talk about him beating K. That's it.
Nobody outside of Franklin Street gives a damn about it if you don't win the Natty.
You lie. You tell him.
Damn.
Nobody outside of listen to me.
Hold on.
Nobody in Raleigh and nobody on I-40 West in Winston-Salem gives a damn about whether Duke and Carolina winning this title. Except
do you know? Do you know?
It's about the Natty.
Do you know how many shirts and shoes and shoelaces and socks
what's it gonna say?
And everything
were your daddy?
yesterday?
Like what?
Yeah.
What's this?
I trademarked it. I'm trademarking that. I beat your daddy. I trademarked
beat your
that.
daddy.
And Hubert is Coach K's kryptonite. Those are my trademark. I'm trademarked those. But I mean, I'm telling you, this is why that game was so important. If K and Duke had beat us last night, they could have held that over our heads forever.
So where does this sit? In
This
Carolina
the best
lore.
win. This is the best win ever. This is better than any win I ever had.
In Carolina history.
Yeah, this is the best win this is better than any win I've ever had. Any win. Because I can take this to the bank. I can cash this one. Ladies and gentlemen, the champ is here. The champ is here. This is what I'm trying to. I can take this. I can take this
Look
wherever.
at him.
I can
Look in his
cash
eyes.
this. Oh, I can cash this wherever I go. I can cash this.
For the rest of your life.
What? I beat you in Cameron on this last game.
Wait, hold on. Question for Shammond. So, okay, as of right now, the rivalry is essentially over, right? That's what we've said because he's beaten K.
Greg, don't start that.
What would Duke need to do for this rivalry to be over?
You need Jesus to raise Coach Smith like Lazarus, and you need Jesus to raise Coach Smith like Lazarus, and you got to put him in the ring again. You got to start this thing over. This one here, I'm gonna tell you what. Me personally, if I was on the back end of that, if it went the other way and I was on the back end of that, man, I couldn't live with myself.
You'd be done.
You know what?
I couldn't live with myself.
If I gotta hear this in
don't
North
have to.
Carolina
You don't-
for the rest of my days, two things gonna happen. I'm either moving or Coach K gotta pull a Tom Brady. I'm gonna give him 30 days and he gotta come back. I'm gone. Yes, I'm gone.
And you came looking for me. You came looking for me.
They did.
You asked for me.
The players did. The players did.
Which they were supposed to. Why you think that they were looking for us? Why? Why do you think they were looking for us? Why did they want to play us so bad?
Because you weren't very good the first 90% of the season.
You think that's the reason
When
why?
they beat you by 30.
What else?
And that don't matter. Well, I mean, we
Because
kind
they
of
thought
gave
they
them a
had
20
you.
piece too.
Because they thought they had you.
No. You think that was the reason they wanted to play us? Or did they want to play us because we beat them
the
on
revenge.
Coach K's
the
last
revenge.
game
No doubt.
on his
No
own
doubt.
floor?
That revenge. They wanted
revenge.
Of course.
I got to make right.
I know.
This was their chance to make right, and then on this stage, because this is the first time Carolina Duke has ever been in the Final Four on this stage.
Now, I have a question for you.
Okay.
At our noon show,
Yes.
in the 1 o'clock hour,
Yes.
Robert Douster said Jeff Goodman is soft.
Soft. Okay.
What do you think?
I'm not really gonna get into is he soft. That part doesn't really matter to me. You know, one thing I do like, we shoot it straight here. And Jeff told me yesterday we had a great conversation, and we were talking, and Jeff hit me with this. You know, we talking about something completely different, and he hit me with the, oh, by the way, I got Duke winning tonight. You know, and I looked and I said,
I did.
Well, I understand. I appreciate it. At the end of the day, somebody's gonna be wrong. That's how it's gonna go. Somebody's gonna be wrong.
Most people were wrong, Shammond. Most people were wrong.
Well, that's what makes you special. You can't be like everybody else. You can't be like everybody else, right, Randolph? If you want to be special,
That's why we the field of 68, baby. We're not like
you can't be
everybody else.
We are not like anybody else.
Hell no.
In Randolph's eyes, because Randolph gonna go back and play. He gonna put on a jersey.
I
He
agree.
gonna
Listen,
play.
I do agree.
Shit is right.
I agree with Shammond in that it doesn't matter what happens
You
now.
bet
matters.
No, it does not next year.
It
Come
matters
on,
to
stop it,
Randolph.
John.
It
Thank you,
matters
John.
to
Somebody-
Randolph.
Come on,
You
John.
gotta win the whole damn thing next year and beat Carolina.
Because no, it's not. You know
Check
what?
this out.
No,
I'm not
no.
defending Duke.
This is not what
This
have
is
you
a
done for me
question.
lately.
This is a question. This is a question. How many years
Unbelievable.
did it take for Carolina and Duke to play in the Final Four?
Ever. Forever.
There it is. So
How many years?
So do you think? I mean,
I still think
What-
if you
you think it's
if
gonna happen
win it
again?
all, but I do think if you win it all,
if we win it all, okay.
Oh.
You put the cherry on top.
Wait a
but
minute. So you're
let
saying
me tell you something. That last night,
that was
Don't tell-
it was
you
like,
have
here's
to
what I would say.
understand the
I
magnitude
equate
of it.
Here's what I equate it to. I live in Boston. When the Red Sox beat the Yankees,
Yes.
you should have seen the damn.
Yes.
I was there covering it.
Someone to come back.
Oh my God, the streets of Boston were like I'd never seen them before. It didn't matter who they were playing next. Now they ended up winning.
Yeah.
So they won the whole damn thing.
yeah.
And that's the only reason why it's relevant, because they finished it.
Don't put that
You
pressure.
have
on,
to finish
Don't
it.
you put that pressure on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you do that. Don't you do that, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that pressure on me.
Because nobody is.
When you do that, let me explain to you.
Because the average
Okay, listen.
fan does not care. No one can tell me right now unless you're a basketball fanatic, who was in the Final Four 2 years ago?
No one, because it didn't happen.
They don't. My point. Damn it, he got it.
Damn. You got to be
I
careful
wanted to
with
have
them.
somebody stuck on that.
I understand what you're saying.
But nobody's going to care about it.
But
if you don't
who-
win it,
who-
because
who
all they're
is-
going to talk about is
who is
Kansas.
nobody?
You know.
So you refer to the
let me
fan
say this. Let me
perspective
say this.
as opposed to the alum perspective.
Franklin Street is the only people that's going to care. If Kansas wins tomorrow, this narrative is going to flip to Emmerich.
You think we're going to be mad at Hubert because he don't win tomorrow?
No. There's no reason. I said the
man
narrative
beat
changes.
the man beat the best twice on the biggest stage ever.
So you're saying tomorrow doesn't matter compared to that?
Y'all,
It pales in comparison.
yeah, the ratings going to be down tomorrow. Anybody want to bet that? Hot dog?
It is Kansas, right?
No.
Anybody want to bet tomorrow the ratings going to be down?
I'm not betting
Hot dog?
hot dog soup.
Why is that? Why is that?
Because I just wore one. And it was
Why you think the ratings going to be down
Because
tomorrow?
Fanta's footlong is not coming back out.
Hey, I did say this. It was a massive difference in Kansas and Villanova's game for it to be Blue Bloods. So when that Carolina and Duke game came out, it
There
was
was a buzz.
it was unreal.
Yeah.
It was unreal.
Yeah.
I gotta give him that.
But it'll be unreal tomorrow.
That
It
ride
will be nice tomorrow. It's gonna be nice
gonna be a
tomorrow.
great
Oh,
environment.
it's
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be a
great.
great environment.
Kansas, man.
But everybody's so.
But I
There's
wanna
gonna
hear
be
Kansas fans show
40,000
up.
North Carolina fans
Man.
that are all as fired up as Shammond is right now.
I don't know
In the
about that.
I don't think they're
building.
gonna be there tomorrow for that. Not like they were
They won't
last
be.
night.
They probably won't be as like. Yeah, it won't be as.
You won't be as fired up tomorrow. No way.
I want them to win. Now I'm competitive. Now I want them to win. I promise you, I do.
But if you
But you don't
chose
care.
one or the other, if you chose you could have
You
one
don't
or the
care.
other, you would have taken last night.
Taking last night.
See what I'm saying?
Wow,
That's crazy to me.
crazy.
A national
with
championship
you.
up the snow.
I'm
And that's my
with you.
point. Thank you.
That's insane.
That's my point. That's
Taking last
ridiculous.
night because you don't. I'm trying to tell you. This is what the people came to see. Really, the NCAA wanted it to go down tonight, but
Yeah,
you wasn't
no
sure
doubt.
if it was going to be able to happen. So you.
Because you guys weren't
listen
good
to
enough.
the stage, man.
You guys weren't good
That's
enough
what
for
you say, but
90%
we're
of
playing
the
tomorrow
year.
night.
I
Jeff.
know,
Well,
I know.
well, who was better? Who's better? Ain't number two teams playing tonight. Who's better? Just because you perceive them to be better, don't mean that they better.
Listen, okay.
Now
Oregon State. Oregon State went to the damn Elite Eight.
Okay,
Were they good? They won 3 games this year.
they had to be good.
Oh, they caught fire. They won the Pac-12 title.
Okay, so
Again,
so
I'm not
if
I'm not
that's the
saying
case,
they're Oregon State.
If that's the case, then why put so much emphasis on teams when they ain't doing well early? If they can catch fire and become a great team, why they just didn't catch fire early? That don't mean they're a good team. They just rolling early. Maybe they ain't rolling in the end.
Maybe they get
so
better.
How do they become a good team? Just because you rank them number 1 at the beginning, that's somebody's opinion. But at the end of the day,
Come on.
There's only two standing.
Wait.
there's only 2 standing,
Man,
Jeff.
they got blasted by 100 by like five teams.
It's
This year.
only
But
2.
The issue
But-
at the start of the season, Jeff, the issue, and we talked about this, Shammond, it had more to do with
Who you like?
no. Early on for North Carolina, it was mindset, it was attitude. It
Oh,
was
he was
are we
playing
gonna
too many
play
guys.
defense? No leadership, and
Let me
look,
tell you.
let's call it like it is. They quit on games. Early
They
in the
did not
season.
compete the way that we would want a Carolina team to compete.
Is
And
that
you
But
know
that
what
take-
happened-
can
what's
we-
can we say
what's
that?
happening now?
I said that. I always said
You
that.
did say that. You just said that
I always
earlier.
said that. I'm
Okay.
not gonna shoot. I'm gonna shoot it straight. I'm gonna shoot it straight. That's all I know. They did not compete the way that I would want them to compete. But it also takes time to learn. I told you this before. It takes time to learn. A new coach, it takes time to learn the opportunities that people are going to get that they didn't get. It's going to take time for people to give up opportunities that they once had for somebody else. That takes time. They're playing a whole different offense than they played on Coach Williams. So that takes time. I told you, I would be a hypocrite to Hubert if I were to criticize what was going on early. Shammond Williams as the starting point guard at the University of North Carolina, when he first started starting, we went 0-3. We what is it? History. I created history. Then we went 16 straight to the Final Four.
And what was the difference, Shammond? Why did you flip it?
We had to understand, okay, this is going to be your role, this is going to be your role, this is going to be your role. You know what I mean? You had to get some understanding of how this thing was going to go, because this team it's not the same team as the year before. Even though you had the same players, it's not the same team. there's different components in this team, and there's different things that you have to understand.
I'll say this. I thought one of the reasons why people were so that while this team doesn't compare to you had pros. You had surefire pros on your team. And when you looked at this Carolina team, as we talked about, there was no one that you looked at. There's really good players, but there's no one you were looking at saying, oh, man, this kid's going to be a first-round this, or he's going to be like Caleb Love is what?
You're right. I mean, you don't. I mean, but as you look at Kansas as well, Kansas doesn't have more than one person.
Well, that's what I said. I said if you're looking at the NBA draft, this game has what? If we're playing spades, they got
all the
one.
Pros are
they got
gone.
one in the possible.
All the pros
that's what college basketball has began to be. If you can get the oldest players, you got a chance to win at a high level. Yes. You know, if you got the older players, you got a chance to win at a high level now. If you got the oldest, best players, like if you got McDonald's All-Americans that are juniors and seniors, you got a chance to win it.
Oh, no question.
You know what I mean? And that's been some people's component over the last few years. I got the oldest, best players. I'm gonna win.
I want to ask both of you guys this. Before Hubert Davis,
right?
Would you have ever seen a North Carolina team that did what they did last night and go ball screen for the last 15 minutes?
You ain't never seen nothing like this. I told you before, all you kids that want to play on the national stage and you want to play for a great program, storied program with many pros that come through, and now you even get to do step back threes. You can pump fake, shoot the three. I mean, hey, Hubert Davis is your guy, baby. I mean, if you want to get your game off, that's the guy.
What would have happened if you had done that?
Ooh, what?
What would have happened? What would you have done?
Get him! Get him! Get him! I mean, everybody know what time it was. I mean, hey, you had to be bold to try.
He would have been sitting with the managers. They would have said this.
Go sit with your mama. Go see your mama back there.
How scared were you? How scared were you of Dean Smith?
It wasn't. Let me make sure I correct this, because I don't want people to think like these kids don't have respect for Hubert. That's not the case. What I do commend Hubert on is understanding this is his team. I think great coaching, you have to understand your team. I look at it no different than when Randolph played. Now, Randolph was the type of player for that team. Odom had to get out of his way and let him be Randolph. If he wouldn't allow Randolph to be Randolph, they wouldn't have won. And they had Tim Duncan. You ain't winning. This is the X factor. So you have to understand who you have, and you have to allow that individual to be them. I give Hubert credit for that because Shammond Williams probably wouldn't have did it. Oh, he takes step back three. Oh, Lord, no. Get him. Go sit with your mama. But to be a great coach, you have to understand your environment. You have to understand what's best for those kids, and you have to give them grace. And I think Hubert gives them grace to allow them to be them, and in certain parts of the game, them being themselves, it allows Carolina to be a great basketball team. So that was part of the learning process as well. Like, maybe I shouldn't take this, but I feel comfortable taking this, so maybe I take. Let me see what Hubert say. Hubert might say, because I'm going to tell you, when Caleb hit him with the step back three, wham! I looked over there at Hubert. He was like, yeah, they brought it back down. Do it again. I say, yeah, that's it. Where my jersey at? Where mine at?
You wanted to play so bad. You would have loved that.
Do it again. Caleb. Wham! Okay. I like this. Do it again. And despite if it's something that I agree with or not, it really has nothing to do with that. It has a lot to say with Hubert understanding who his players are and what his team needs from him to be successful.
And the times have changed. Yeah. They have. I mean, you got to adapt to these kids these days.
He gets so much. He should get so much credit because, again, everybody instantly, when they were losing by 20, they were calling it an identity crisis because he was doing what he was doing. It wasn't what Carolina fans were used to. Former players who had grown in that same system for the last 40 years, working, playing in, like, that's unwatchable.
What's going
that's
on?
Not,
it
that's
was like,
not,
what's
that's
going
not
on?
us.
Right.
Yeah.
And
you're right.
It became that.
We had got beat before Christmas.
Wake Forest.
Wake Forest beat us.
In Miami, back to back.
Yeah, beat us.
That was when it changed.
I went to practice.
Did you drop
26.
40 in that one?
I went
Is that
to
one of the games you dropped 40?
No, this
No.
year.
I'm talking about this year with Miami and Wake games.
Yeah.
And I had the next game.
I went to practice. I went to practice the 20s. It might have been Christmas night. I went to practice Christmas night.
Well, that was the early butt whoopings.
Yeah.
The games I'm talking about. January.
Yeah. But this is when I knew for sure. I mean, I always had confidence in Hubert anyway. He won us, so that ain't never no problem. It's just understanding, hey, what we're going to be. This is going to be different, and understanding to accept it. But I went to practice that night, and when I went to practice, what I saw Hubert doing, and the emphasis and the stuff that he was doing then, when I left out of that, I said, we're going to be fine. I don't care what happened. I knew that we were going to be fine because what he was doing in there was no different than what I would have been doing. And I said, you know what? There you go. That right there. That's what they need right there. And I seen it from my own eyes. I don't need nobody to tell me nothing.
So he checked his faith at the door that day. Because if I know you, after a couple of those losses.
Everybody do it different. Everybody do it different.
But you said it's what you would have done.
It's what I would have done. Ain't no question. But, we don't do this. We have the same ideologies, but we don't have to do the same things to get our point across.
Okay.
I think that was something that the players were surprised about, that after the January, those 2 back-to-back losses to Wake and Miami, they thought he was going to come in. Now, he doesn't swear, but they thought he was going to come in ready to go, and he didn't. And I think the players, again, he's done a great job of kind of keeping them positive, still getting up into them, but keeping them positive.
Listen, the one thing you can respect about coaching is there's different ways to get certain things done. And I've learned over my time as being a coach and playing that I respect the way that people do things in their own programs. I don't like to criticize people for doing the things that they do in their program because one day, God permit, I have my own program, and people may not understand it. I'm okay with that. The only thing that I want you to judge me on is the wins and the losses. And for a first-year head coach to be in the Final Four, be in the championship game, to beat one of the greatest coaches on the biggest stage twice, I mean,
doesn't get bigger than
if
that.
you had to go back, if you had to go back and pick the game that you thought showed you that this team could be here, what game was it?
That's a good question, Randolph. The game.
You think about it.
Oh, easy. Cameron.
Yeah, easy. Me
Cameron.
too.
I'll go back before
You'll go
that.
earlier,
I'll go earlier.
Oh, Cameron.
I thought it was the game at Virginia Tech after they lost to Pittsburgh.
They beat them by like 20, didn't
It's
it?
the embarrassment.
Because they got humiliated by Pitt, and Virginia Tech had started. They were already in this run of playing good basketball that led to them winning the ACC championship. And it was a game where it felt like, all right, whoever wins this game, because Carolina had no quad one wins, so it felt like whoever won that game had a chance to make it in the league because the only surefire thing we knew was like Duke was going to be there.
Right.
You had Carolina, you were like, all right, all the good teams they played, they beat who they were supposed to beat.
Yeah.
And then you have Virginia Tech starting out slow, and then they started coming on, and then they had Carolina coming to their place. You guys had just had a horrible loss to Pitt.
Right.
At home.
That was a bad game. Bad
then
loss.
when they responded to that game, I was like, all right, there's something there.
Yeah. I mean, that was good. But when you play Virginia Tech, nothing against Virginia Tech,
Would you
your
stop
same
this Duke
focus.
stuff, man?
I'm just telling you, the same focus and emphasis on the same. When you got to go in the camera and you know that this K's last one, this is the biggest game thus far. This could be the biggest game in college basketball at this point in time. For those guys to say, hey, you know what? We're going to go in here. Hey, the champ is here. The champ is here. Come on and sit down, champ. Come on and sit down right here. But okay, so when you get this chance. When you get the chance to beat Duke in Cameron on that stage, it showed me when they have to compete against the elite, they're more than capable of doing it. That was the game for me.
We got a full Carolina side over here. We got Psycho T, Tyler Hansborough in the house. Tyler, good to see you again, my man.
It's a great day. It's a great day to be a Tar Heel for sure.
The only one who's going to come across with even more juice might be this dude who hates Duke as much, if not more.
He probably hated more than me.
So here's what we came up with. We came up with Shammond saying the rivalry is over. It's over.
Not my eyes.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
This is like my second favorite song here right now. All right, I'm bumping you back.
No,
Clean it up. Would you clean that up?
I'm not cleaning it up.
Finish that up. Clean this up.
I mean,
But it's hated forever, right? It's never going to stop. The rivalry's not going to stop because of this one.
I don't think
I
we
think
can beat Duke enough, is my opinion.
Yeah.
And I will say this. I hope they're quiet for a little bit.
I think
they're
they
not
will
gonna
be.
be running their mouth for a little bit. I mean, I've been kind of tame on my social media since we smacked them down yesterday. And what we did to them in Cameron, if that's not a statement, we went to their house and ended it there. And then if it wasn't enough, we brought it to them in the tournament again. So yeah, I mean, we came out. I mean, Caleb Love's starting to evolve. But to me, a huge X factor is R.J. Davis comes down the stretch, hitting big shots when we need it. His jump shots have been really consistent lately, and the chemistry and quality shots that this team is making is unbelievable.
They've been fun to watch. They've been fun to watch lately. Yeah. All right, I've always wanted to ask you this, and I don't think I ever have. By the way, the best part of Tyler is that, and I love this, I love how far you've come. Because when we met each other, Tyler didn't want anything to do with the media. Then I beat his ass in ping pong, and it all changed.
Yeah, me and Jeff played a little ping pong.
Really?
What type of ping pong did we play?
Do we play Texas
We
style?
did. We did.
All
We
right.
did. We played a little Texas
you
style.
familiar
we
with that?
did. So Texas style, you get 2 points in a row, you take your shirt, put it over the head, another person gets hit you with the ping pong. So, I mean,
I think I might have hurt Tyler.
Nah, you ain't heard it. he come from our
But
stock.
it's just,
He ain't heard
it's
it.
so good. Honestly, it's so good to see you. How you've evolved. And again, it's been a long time. Like, since we first met each other, it's been a long time. But, all right, the question I've always wanted to ask you, I've heard this, and I don't know if it was like folklore or not, but you would go to a bar, to somewhere in Chapel Hill. Maybe it was in Durham. I don't know. And, I heard you would get into fights or damn close with Duke fans.
no.
Not true.
No,
Not true.
No. First of all, I never went to Durham.
Well, what about when they come to if they come to Chapel Hill?
I didn't like
bars?
that. That's our campus. Yeah, you could have came to school at UNC, but
So they
you
couldn't
can't
come to
play at
Franklin
Duke
Street.
and then come over to our. I mean,
So would you say something like a Duke fan comes to Franklin Street? Are you saying something to them?
I might say something that could be taken as a compliment, or it could be taken as
however you
open-ended.
perceive
However you want to determine that comment came
But
out.
you didn't like it. You saw a Duke fan there. You did not like
No, I bought into the rivalry when I was in school.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably wasn't the best mentality, but
it. You hated Duke. Hated him.
no, I didn't hate Duke. I actually respected Duke a lot. I don't think honestly, this year's kind of built some dislike for Duke, and I don't know what it's been, but this year I've never hated Duke. I would say NC State. I've never liked NC State, but Duke. Yeah, I mean, there's never really any hate for Duke. No.
How did you celebrate last night?
I celebrate. I was happy. We had
For sure.
the whole family there.
Did you? Everybody? So last night, what was it like? Everybody was out at a place together? All you guys?
I mean, we stayed in the stands for quite a few minutes, making sure that everybody knew that everybody couldn't come back Monday night. Everybody in that arena couldn't come back Monday night. It was only a select few could come back that Monday night. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So only a few could come back. And, I just wanted to make sure myself, I waved a few people.
Tyler, what's your
Great
fondest memory for you of the rivalry?
The rivalry, my freshman year, when the 05 team just won a national championship, and, we weren't picked to do much. And so it's kind of a rebuild year. Duke, J.J. Redick, Sheldon Williams, they had a lot of firepower. They were getting a lot of pub. They were a top 5 team. I think we were top maybe 20, whatever. We went into Cameron and won. That was a big moment for our team. We didn't really have, I was a freshman. I was a young guy, first time in Cameron, and we had